my next question to you sort of revolves around the relationship with your daughter. I wanted to know, and I think the reason I asked this question is I think it would be useful maybe for people who are experiencing this to understand, like, how do you go about telling stories about your husband to your daughter and kind of giving her an understanding of what her dad was like, who he was, because like she'll know him through you, she'll experience him through you, but she'll never unfortunately have that direct connection.
Yeah.
So how do you approach that?
It's infused in our life. I was that this morning? I'm trying to think. It was just over the past few days, something happened and I was like, oh, me, your dad, and such did blah, 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 like whatever it was. I can't remember at the moment. And that comes up all the time. Like, she'll ask me about something and I'll say, oh, when me and your dad went to Hawaii, we, experienced this, we went surfing, or, we did this thing. And also, because I have such a good network, I told you my friends are amazing. They actually put a book together that has different pictures of him within the book and things that he did. And he wrote a prayer blog. And so it has some of the prayer blog in there and, different things like that. And when she was younger, she used to flip through it all the time. She would look through it and, and she would just take it all in. Every now and again, she would ask a question. Now, as she's older, I mean, it's more difficult for her because she just, for her life, she knows it, me and her. It's like me and my mom hang tight. We are, we're like this. And so sometimes, she just is, it's like there's no, I remember her telling a story about her teacher had them doing biographies at school about their life. So they had to do their autobiographies, and the teacher broke it up for them to like ask your parents about a story in your infanthood, your toddler, and then you write your first memory yourself of what you can remember and like go from there. And so she wrote, this might get me today. So she wrote, when I was 2 years old, my dad passed, and I don't remember much about him, but my mom, always tells me things, and I have a book that I look at. And I was just like, whew, okay. And she read it to one of her friends, and her friend was like, oh, that makes me so sad. And I asked her, I said, how does it make you feel? I said, do you feel sad? And she goes, can I be honest? And mind you, she's like 8 or 9 at this point. And I was like, of course. I'm like, please be honest. And she says, I don't really feel any kind of way because I don't remember. And that's the tough moment. That's the like, I wish you just had just a small memory of him and her, because he just loved her dearly. Like, he was such a hands-on father, and he was, to see him with her, his eyes lit up, and she was so happy to see her dad as well. And so, like, probably about a year ago, I found a picture. She couldn't have been any more than like maybe 9 months. And he's sitting on the couch, and her little self is like balled up on him. And they both just look so content. Like, she's asleep with her little bitty self, and he's just like, I got my baby girl. And I showed her that picture, and she was like, oh my goodness. I'm like,